making more room for the Bojangles that's going to go in town with the create mod, and we're building a special type of farm. One of my favorites. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? It's jblader. I'm back on the Olympus Craft server. I got my fancy create goggles on because I think we're going to do some create things today. One of the things that I need to do, like I mentioned last time, is get rid of this wonderful little mountain here, and it's actually a quite large mountain. I don't know how much of I'm going to get rid of. I don't want to completely flatten out areas that I feel like they really lose their touch if they're flattened out too much. So yes, we have a giant flattened out area here. So maybe it's like we flatten it out to here and then we taper it and add a few little hills and variations. That having variation in land, I think, can help out a lot. But either way, I think I'm going to try the create mod to get rid of a lot of this stuff. And I've also added some trees and we got a little bit more stuff to do. But I went to go landscape some of this area here and I realized I don't have any bricks. I don't have any moss. So there's some farming that kind of needs to happen in order for us to finish this area. What that means for me is that I think I want to make a vanilla moss farm. They're not that expensive and they are a great way to get tons and tons of moss, which is going to be very useful, especially because I use it so much in decorating. And then after that, we'll play around with the create stuff. In between, I need to heal up my tools, so I'm going to take a trip to the end, and I'm going to be looking for some clay, because I'm going to need a lot of these bricks. I could do villager trading. I know that's always an option. Let me see how many emeralds. Oh, yeah. Somebody bought Olympian with emeralds, so I have like an insane amount of emeralds. Oh, you know what? Rob has villagers. I'm going to go see if anyone else has. We have the universal villager trading plugin here, or mod. So if they're low prices for them, like they've been zombified and turned back into villagers, then it's going to be cheap for me. Let's head over to... I'll just check out somebody's base. It won't be that interesting, but if not, then I got to farm some bricks. Fuzzy's wonderful base is over here, and he does have some villagers. Fuzzy, if you're watching, I hope this is fine. I don't see how this would break anything, and I need bricks. If it does break something, let me know. I'll pay you back, bro. What I've learned by playing around with the create mod is that I still have no idea what I'm doing, but luckily there are tons of good tutorials out there, and I think that I've figured this out enough that I can show it off. We've got a minecart furnace in here that's going to be powering this thing to move forward. Got some linear chassis, a plow. So of course, we're super gluing things. Now this is going to deploy rails. This is a horizontal drill. So what I did is I went through and made sure it's got a flat railway to basically go on. And let's give it a shot. We're going to power the contraption. You see there that it became powered. It mined. And now if we grab some coal and we move this thing along, it will... I think sometimes I'm just making really simple mistakes. Like maybe that rail was in the way or something. Powered. Go. There we go. Now she's zooming. This is going to pick up the carts. This is going to pick up the tracks. The drills are going to take care of the stone. We got this thing all powered up. The minecart furnace with the coal. And I just need to stand back and watch this thing. And then once we're done, as you saw with the wrench, we can pick it up and move it, which is fantastic. So we'll just pick it up, slide it over, do it again. This thing is so freaking cool, by the way. Oh my gosh. Look at her go. Fantastic. Oh, I just realized I don't have a ton of chests to put blocks in. So may have to stop it and grab out. I actually don't really care about the blocks. We got enough stuff, but yeah. Add more chests if you're building this in your own world. Anyway, I'm going to let this thing go for a little bit. And enjoy it. Maybe let's try time-lapsing it. Let's see how buggy this replay mod is with create. It's been about 2 hours. The sun is rising here on the Olympus Craft server. My parking lot is being run over with coconut crabs, and I've cleared out a bunch of area. I mean, can you guys see how much area this thing has cleared out? I think it's definitely faster than manually mining all of this. You can see I've done a lot of manual mining too, and I've started to put back some shape into this terrain because it's not going to be left completely flat. It's just boring, doesn't seem realistic. You gotta have a little bit of variety to the depth of this area. So we're gonna have some rings of kind of raised terrain coming back in here at some point. But we're gonna focus on that on another day. You can see that I have kind of cornered off this part of the parking lot. The parking lot is going to kind of end at this point, so I can place a bunch of grass here, kind of like that. So that should kind of shape up the majority of this parking lot. We got to get some cars in here though. It's looking pretty empty, and I've got to repair this area here that I had to tear down in order to use the create machine, and I still have the little contraption on me. That's what's so nice about this thing, is that we can pick it up, place it down anywhere we need to. I got a little bit more clearing to do over here. Then of course I've got to place a ton of grass to make this area complete. We eventually will be able to place some other kind of roads and buildings on this spot. Probably going to be left alone for now, but let me at least finish up this parking lot. Parking lot, all back in now. We need a little sign here where people stop and order their food. I think display boards look the coolest. They're a create mod thing. Place a few plants in here. Then let's put in our display boards. Oh, I'll have to make a few more of these. We'll do a wither head here. This is the little microphone that you're talking into, and then you'll have the display board. That should be good enough for the time being. Next up, we can add a few more trees around here, so let me get my saplings out. There we go. Trees all the way around this lot, which I think makes it look a lot better. It doesn't quite stand out as much like a sore thumb. And we've got 3 kind of big old buildings here with the kind of traditional American parking. I think this style is kind of nice. It lets the buildings breathe a little bit in their natural kind of, or I guess dystopian kind of urban look. If we get too many buildings close together, I think they lose their pizzazz. So putting them in a setting where they kind of belong, I think helps a lot. Tons of things to do here though. We're going to need some light fixtures at some point. We're going to need some cars, of course, to populate the parking lot. So this place is looking lived in, and the building itself definitely still needs to be done, but we spent a lot of time over here today, and I want to diversify. We're going to be working on a moss farm for the rest of the episode, and off camera, I'll be over here placing some grass. I'm tempted to see if we can't add a builder's wand to this pack, because that would make speeding up the placing of just thousands of grass blocks a lot faster. Anyway, let's head over to the industrial district, and we'll work on that moss farm. Do you recognize this place? The industrial district. Every once in a while I'm over here. This is my industrial district. Last time we looked at fuzzies and zinjys, and their district, although is less built up and aesthetic as mine. Mine's got that futuristic kind of thing going on. Theirs actually has industrial things in it. But we're going to change that today. We're going to add another farm besides the old iron farm over here. And that is that moss farm. I'm just going to time-lapse it. I'm going to be following a tutorial. I don't think it's going to be incredibly complicated or difficult to create. I'm sure you guys have seen it before if you follow other servers like Hermitcraft or any of those. There's hundreds of SMPs out there nowadays. So, oh yeah, I have a villager breeder over here too. I was like, where are these guys coming from? Yeah, so villager breeder, it's off right now. You can see I picked up some carrots. So got villagers, and I think I even have some random rabbits over here. Yes, I have many rabbits just in case I need something. They like that I'm holding carrots, I think. Well, there you guys go. You can have some carrots. I was thinking about putting it over here where you can see I've got some item dispensers to throw things into our Tom's Simple Storage over there. But I actually think that this farm produces too much moss to possibly be put into our system fast enough. Like, it will just simply overload the hoppers in our system. Regardless, I think I am going to build it over here, and then we'll just multiply our dropper or dispensers. Yeah, maybe that'll work. We'll give that a shot. Anyway, let's get to building. Well, the machine is done, and I built one that was made for bone meal farming, which means that it turned things into composters here and then into bone meal. But I don't really need bone meal. I have unlimited bones from my bone farm, and from the wither skeleton farm, and I mean, like, literally, I have so much bone meal that I was throwing it away, like 300,000 bone meal. So this is just going to, all I did was basically turn these hoppers, instead of pointing into composters, pointing into chests, and what we can do is basically just run out from this output here directly into this system if we need to. This whole lever here that's shooting bone meal back into the system, totally unnecessary. I'm going to remove it. I just didn't look hard enough at the tutorial. The tutorial I am using, though, is by Shulkercraft, and it is a tutorial of a design by Dusty Dude. So he built this in 1.17. We're on 1.19, but it should work. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's test it out. I'm nervous. I always get nervous when I build these types of things. Let me turn my magnet off. So we're actually going to get a bunch of different stuff from this farm. The azalea trees. Obviously, we're going to get moss blocks. The carpet moss. Oh, it's so loud. Oh my gosh. I gotta kill those dispensers. They're not even doing anything. Yeah, but we're getting moss. Everything seems to be working here. I'm going to let this run for about 10 minutes. And I'll come back and see what we're cooking with here. The little azalea bushes are nice too, because I like using those for decoration. Pretty easy farm to build though. 15 minutes later, I still got this thing running, and I've connected it up to the system. It's not the most beautiful thing ever, but I just got rid of the composters altogether. Like I said, don't need the bone meal. Running it right into our Tom's simple storage system. You can see the items flying in now. We got iron flying in. We've got moss flying in. And in here, the moss is collecting. Of course, we have seeds from this farm and the botany pots that I have there. That's where the majority of this stuff is coming from. I even have some villagers in the system. I don't know if this is the best way to sort items like this. In fact, I know it's not. The best way is drawers. Drawers are the best way to sort the most amount of items. Tom's Simple Storage, when they're full, can be very laggy, but you'll see that we still have 3,400 slots of storage full. So I don't think we really have to worry about the lag that a full Tom's Simple Storage is going to cause. And that means another farm off the to-do list. This beautiful moss farm is going to be producing tons and tons of moss so that I can use it in all of my landscaping needs, because I love my moss stripes. Anyhow, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. It helps out a whole lot. Numbers go up means I can do more videos and do more things, and it is greatly appreciated. It's free to subscribe, and when you do, it means that you'll get to know when I upload my next video here on the channel. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.